Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update on our Vermibag Max. Now, we just did an update on our Urban Worm Bag 2 with the European night crawlers, and the system is doing phenomenally well. It's really gone through all the food. There was a couple bugs in there as far as like fruit flies or fungus gnats, but not a whole lot, so they've kind of tapped down. Hopefully we're going to see the same thing on the Vermibag as we added some pine shavings. We've been adding some of our different materials that we can add to try to tap down on those, and we've also, of course, have our little trap inside there. So with that, let's go take a look, see how the system is doing, and see if there's anything we need to do other than add food, which I know they will need after 28 days of waiting there. So it's been 4 weeks, a little longer than normal. So normally 20 days to 21 days, this time 28 days. All the food should be gone. They're going to need a massive feeding, and we'll see what else they need. Okay, here's the Vermibag Max here. We're going to open this up and see if there's bugs inside or not, first of all. I do have a vacuum over here, but I don't have it ready to go. Let's just see. Oh, there's actually a whole bunch here. I think I will get the vacuum for this. There's quite a few. Give me a second. All right, now I'm sure there's more still in here, but that I think is good for now. And what we're going to do is, just so you can see here, I did take out the little trap in here. This probably needs to be refreshed. It looks like there's not much in here, just to, maybe you can see in there or not, but it may be better from this angle. I don't know, it's hard to tell. There might be a couple hundred in there, but those do work well, but it's just sometimes like they just continually just seem to come out of the system for some reason. I don't know if I should leave the lid off and just put a trap over it or something, or what's going on, but we'll see. This is the last system I have with fruit flies in it. I feel I have some fungus gnats and some minute flies or sewer flies or whatever you want to call them. So I think this is one of the last ones that has this issue to it. But this looks pretty good. A little bit of moisture on top. So we're going to go ahead and throw this off to the side. And here we are with our bin. Now we're going to go ahead and zoom in here a little bit. No reason to be so far back. And let's take a look in here and see how this is doing. So, kill that little fruit fly there. There's a couple of them on the sides here. Just kind of crunch them up while I can. So, let's start. It looks like we've got a good amount of castings over here. Not as much over on this side. So let's start on this side here and just dig this out. First off, I see a lot of worms right here on the surface. That's a great sign. As you can see in here, just a lot of worms. They look nice and healthy. These are all the red wigglers, by the way, or they're supposed to be. We've got a mango seed right here. These take forever to break down, but it looks like they're starting to work on that too. You can see the worms all over it. It's a good sign. And just like the other one, we do have the pine shavings that I added. They don't seem to be helping quite as much to contain the fruit flies in this system. I'm sorry, you're going to keep seeing me reach over as I try to kill these fruit flies that are crawling out here on this side. But you can just see, look at all the worms, and look how nice these castings look. They're doing a really good job in here. They really look healthy. A couple of them look like they might be ready to lay cocoons, like this one right here. Looks like it's fairly mature and ready to lay something there. So, and we'll see. I haven't seen too many cocoons in here, but I know that the population is growing. Whoa, lots of fruit flies though. But I'm still going to continue working with the system. I will say I don't think they're getting out of the system because I'm not finding fruit flies in my basement. But look at this. You can just see right here. I mean, the material looks great. There's still some cardboard mixed in, but they're working on it. And just lots and lots of worms. They're doing a really, really good job in this system. And they're multiplying like crazy. Let's just go over here. Same thing. And also very little food left, which is a great sign. We're going to be adding more food today. Now let's head over to the other side here. I'm digging this center section first. Let's just take a look right here. Look at this. Nice big, healthy worms in this system. It's not focusing. There we go. I mean, these guys really look healthy. They're all through this material. They're really working at it. Those pine shavings, I don't mind if they come out at the end, but look at this. Just nice and healthy. I know it might be a little hard to see here. Let's just see if I can tilt that up a little bit more for you. There you go. It's a little hard with the lighting here with the camera being so far away, but they look really, really healthy. All right, let's keep going over here now. Let's just take a look in this front section. A little stuck together, but flakes right apart when you start really pulling at it. This is great material, great castings. I mean, this is a lot more castings than the other section, but the castings look really, really nice. Again, just trying to kill some of those fruit flies before they fly out of the system. All right, let's just dig over here now. Last section. First off, another mango seed. Again, they're still working on it. Feels empty. I wonder if they got their way in there. But again, this material all feels very good. This is actually, okay, there's a stem in here that they are working on. Let's just see here. All right, so there's some paper here on the bottom on this one. Looks like they haven't kind of gotten through everything, but again, we also have one of these chicken bones that's been there forever probably. But we've got a mango seed right here. But other than that, when you get down a little deeper, soil is starting to come through, and you get this nice rich casting material. Avocado shell right there. Looks like they might be working on that, but so this stuff is looking really, really good. It's just one more thing right here. I mean, you can just see how this material is. I mean, it's really, this is a little bit starting to get a little thick over there, but it's still really, really good. So, all right, with that, we're going to go ahead and bury this stuff back in. Going to move around some of our paper, get it all spread out again. And I think we might do the pine shavings again on top. We might try this again. We're going to try this for a little bit. We're going to add some more of our wet cardboard and everything as we have been, but we're going to add some pine shavings on top of it. So just to see if we can control these numbers just a little bit more. I really think that the pine shavings, they never had really the issues that I had in my other systems. So with that, first thing first, what are we going to do? We're going to add a layer of food to this. I see a worm right there, a couple worms on top. Hopefully they'll dig down before we really get in. Now, we're going to work a little bit differently in this system. I've got some of these bags of food where the food went bad before we could finish it off because they were fairly large, or they went bad a little quickly. And we're going to empty out a bunch of these into here to try to clear these out of my freezer. So this is broccoli. Now, by the way, broccoli can smell in a system. I will warn you. It's not like it smells bad. It smells like broccoli, which if you don't like the smell of broccoli, you won't like it all. So just so you know, Brussels sprouts do the same thing, and cauliflower can too. But sometimes if you bury it deep enough, you'll never get any smell at all. It all depends on what you do. So we got some coffee grounds. This is another little container. As I said, I'm just trying to empty out some of these containers that have been in my fridge for a long time. So got a banana peel here, some more broccoli, it's a tea bag, and we've got some coffee grounds. I'm not going to be able to break those coffee grounds in half. Those are a little too thick. All right, next bag. We've got some celery. So, celery looks pretty good. Just going to throw that down in there. And now, here comes the one that I think these are going to take some time to break down. We've got some full carrots here. Oops. I just dumped one on the floor, along with a bunch of the ice. All right, I'll have to clean that up a little bit later, but here we go. We got some full carrots. Now these, the skin is meant to not really be broken into. So I'm going to just break these by hand right now. So the skin is supposed to be really tough. It's supposed to help prevent the carrots from being eaten while they're in the ground. So you got to make sure you got some way to let the worms in. So there we go. Just going to break all these in half at least, or in thirds. Just like this. All right, maybe not that one. But the idea is to just make sure that they have a way to get in. So they can get in through that end. This is almost going to act like a straw. So as you can see right there, the ends are different color because that way the worms are going to be able to get in that way. And one last thing, this is going to be kind of a smaller feeding compared to used to. Let me just loosen this up a little bit. But I've had some of this stuff in the freezer for a long, long time. So this is another one of these containers. And I'm trying to clear out some of this stuff that's been in there for a long time as I try to empty out my freezer so I can thaw it out, because my freezer is from the 1950s and it does not have a thaw cycle in it. So we've got some mango, more coffee grounds. We got some apple cores. Let me break apart these coffee grounds here a little bit. Looks like we've got a piece of clementine right there. Apple, more banana peels, mango, these mango skins. Now I do find that these are really helped if you kind of spread them apart a little bit more. When they're kind of, like right now, they're right on top of each other like this. You see how they're lined up like that? The worms have trouble getting in there a little bit. So I'm going to just sort of move them around a little bit so that way the worms can get in there a little bit easier. And now let me go ahead and get all this rest of this broken up. All right, I do see one thing that should not be in here. This right here is, I think, a peach or apricot or something seed. I think it's a peach seed, I'm pretty sure. This is not going to break down in there. At least I don't think it will. I think these are called like stones. I mean, these are really hard. But you know what? We'll leave it in there. We'll see if it comes out on the other side. Give it a chance, right? See what the worms can do. See what the microbes can do to this stuff. So we're just going to break some of this apart a little bit more. And what we're going to do next is, of course, add some of our grit. So we've got our crushed crab and eggshell that we're going to add to this. And for this, I am going to put on a mask. So I've got my mask on. And now let's add the material that we need. So we're going to go ahead and add our grit here. Just like this. Just shake it on. I've got a mask on, by the way. Hopefully my camera doesn't die. It looks like the battery's flashing at me, but I thought I just charged it. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and add on our moistened paper. So I've got a container here. All this is pre-moistened right here. One of these large containers. We're going to go ahead and dump this in. If I can. All right, hold on here. It's getting stuck. There we go. And hopefully what we can do here is sort of bury these food scraps nice and deep. Just like that. All this stuff is moistened. Let me just make sure you get all this out of here. You don't want to have a whole lot of moist cardboard in your house that's not in a worm bin. And I'm going to say this for two reasons. One, it will start to smell. And two, it will grow mold. So you want to make sure if I don't get all this out of here, I got to make sure I dry it out. Otherwise I'll have issues later in my house. I don't want that. So there we go. We're going to get all that water out of there. And then for the last part of this, as I said before, we're going to go ahead and add some pine shavings. Let me grab those. And I've got a massive bag here. I'm going to just pour a whole bunch in. So let's just start reaching in here. I'm going to pour a whole bunch in on top. I really feel these are helpful for preventing fruit flies. I just did not have the fruit fly issues in that system. I think these are a little bit abrasive. So there we go. There's a good amount. I couldn't tell how much I was adding since it was kind of blind adding, but we added a lot right there. And now what we're going to do, going to move this all the corners. This is dry material, by the way. And we're going to see if this kind of helps pare everything down, including maybe the smell too. This might help with the smell a little bit. Let me just put in a little bit more. Right over here. Anywhere where the paper is kind of poking up. We're going to see if this sort of helps out with the flies. There should be still more fly babies in here, I'm sure. So we're going to see if that'll help that. Now, next part of this, we're going to put our little top back on here. Just like that. And look at that. This thing's pretty full now. We're going to put this in there. I didn't refresh it, but I might try to do that later. And that's our update for our Vermibag Max. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. And hopefully this is encouraging you to also start composting. For those that are new to my channel, I really do encourage people to start composting and reducing their waste that they have in their going out to their trash. So with that, thank you for watching.